Oh, hello, and welcome back. This time, we're going to talk about communication and maintaining relationships. Well, I've just mentioned a word that is near and dear to all of our hearts: relationships. Relationships mean everything from our friendships with our friends at school or work or at the club to relationships that we have with our children, our parents, and most importantly, it seems, the relationships we have with people for whom we feel affection. And the deeper the affection, the more powerful and really complicated communication becomes. It seems that we don't very often get into trouble communicating with people with whom we just have a casual relationship. But all heck breaks loose when we try sometimes to communicate with people that we love desperately, dearly, beyond all description, wild about them. Why is it that the more we care about somebody, it seems the more we trip over our tongues in the things we try to say, and many times things we don't even say to these people? Let's start off with a basic premise. If you want to have solid, good friendships, close friendships, and intimate, affectionate relationships, it is critical, beyond description critical, that you keep open channels of oral communication going with these people. Because communication is the lubrication. Communication is the sweet, the sugar. Communication is the food. Communication is the nourishment, the very life of any type of human relationship. When human relationships are like flower gardens, aren't they? What happens to your flower garden if you don't water it or put on some fertilizer occasionally, say once a year during the spring? What happens if you don't water your flower garden? Well, you know what happens. It's going to die. It's going to die slowly, and you'll watch it die. And it's painful to see a beautiful flower die. In a very similar vein, communication is the water, the plant food of not only relationships, but most importantly, human relationships, intimate relationships, affectionate relationships. So at all costs, talk to the person with whom you are involved in any type of relationship to keep it going. Now I realize, because I'm a person and I've walked in every single step we can talk about today. I've walked there. I've been there. I tell my students that, I'm not teaching from a textbook written by somebody else. I'm teaching from my life. So every mistake in relationships that you can possibly imagine, you're looking at the guy who's made them. I think sometimes I invented those mistakes in relationships. Just as poor communication, or lack of communication, or in the extreme no communication can get you in big trouble in your relationships, in a similar vein, even though you might be in hot water, better communication, improving your oral communication, and talking to people can very often repair the damage, get you out of trouble, and make sure that the relationship stays on an even keel. Now I know, because as I just said, I've been there. I know that if you're angry with somebody, or somebody is angry with you, the very first thing you do is shut up. You quit talking to them. Don't talk to me. I'm mad at you. Well, that's the wrong thing to do, but it's hard to talk to somebody that we're having trouble with. That calls upon our deepest sense of maturity and personhood, because we have to rise to the occasion. We have to use all of the language skills that we've been taught since birth, certainly in school. No matter what level of school you went to, you have enough language, and you have more than enough communication skill to maintain and repair a relationship. My mother used to teach me, and wasn't your mother always right? Mine was. I didn't know that until mother was already gone. But your mother used to tell you the most important words in the world are please and thank you. To that I would add, I love you. If you feel good things about somebody, tell them. Tell them every day. Life is short. Some is shorter than others. So if you feel good things about a person, tell them about those good things. Tell them you love them. Tell them they're your favorite person. Similarly, if you have an issue, is that the current term today? I've heard issues called problems and concerns in my life. Today it's issues. All right, if you have an issue with a person, go up to that person, sit down with them, say, I'd like to talk to you, and share your concern about your issue. Only in that way will you begin to repair the damage that this issue has caused. Certainly when you address the issue, you will stop the damage. You will stop the rip in a relationship. And then you can start to put it back together. But only after you have stopped the rip in the relationship. And that rip stop begins when you say, let's sit down and talk about something. I have something very important to me, and I think it's important to you too. So you were given these language skills, these prodigious, unbelievable language skills at birth. You gave your first speech when you were born. I know that because if the doctor hadn't slapped you on the popo, you wouldn't be here right now. Your first speech was a prolonged scream, but nonetheless it was your first speech. So you know how to do this. Just use the tools that you were given at birth. And this next section is going to tell you how to do that. So have a good time. Enjoy yourself. Here we go.